Fellow gardeners, let's talk about one of the most frustrating moments in the garden. Harvesting onions that look more like scallions than the hefty bulbs you envisioned. You've done everything right, planted at the proper depth, watered consistently, fed them well, yet your onions remain stubbornly small. The truth is, there's a crucial step that most gardeners completely overlook, and it's not what you might expect. Today, I'm sharing the game-changing technique that will transform your wimpy onions into the robust, storage-worthy bulbs you've been dreaming of. Before diving into the secret technique, you need to understand how onions actually develop. Unlike many vegetables that we harvest for their fruits or leaves, onions are all about that underground bulb. The plant spends the first part of its growing season focusing on leaf development because those green tops are essentially solar panels collecting energy to fuel bulb formation. This is why, early in the season, you'll notice your onions putting all their effort into growing tall, lush foliage rather than bulking up below ground. The magic happens when the plant receives specific signals that trigger it to shift gears from leaf production to bulb development. This transition is controlled by both daylight hours and temperature, but here's where most gardeners miss the boat. They don't actively participate in this crucial phase. Instead, they sit back and wait, hoping nature will take its course. While nature does play a role, giving your onions a gentle nudge at exactly the right moment can mean the difference between disappointing ping-pong ball-sized bulbs and impressive storage-worthy onions that would make any gardener proud. The technique that changes everything is deceptively simple, yet profoundly effective, the bend-over method. This approach involves manually bending your onion tops at precisely the right moment to redirect all of the plant's remaining energy into bulb development. When you bend the neck of the onion plant, you're essentially telling it that its leaf-growing days are over, and it's time to focus entirely on creating that beautiful plump bulb underground. So, here's how it works on a physiological level. When you bend the onion tops, you're actually interrupting the flow of nutrients between the leaves and the bulb. This sends a signal to the plant that it needs to start the maturation process and begin storing all available energy in the bulb, instead of, continuing to feed the foliage. It's kind of like flipping a biological switch that transforms your onion from a leaf-producing machine into a bulb-building powerhouse. Now, the timing of this technique is absolutely critical, and honestly, it just can't be rushed. You really have to wait until the onion tops begin to yellow and naturally start flopping over on their own. This natural yellowing and flopping is a sign that the plant is already starting to mature and is ready for your intervention. If you try this technique too early, when the tops are still green and upright, it can actually harm the plant and reduce your final bulb size. The golden rule for timing your bend-over technique is what we call the 50% threshold. You want to wait until at least half of your onion tops have naturally begun to yellow and fall over before you step in and bend over the remaining upright stems. This makes sure the bulbs have reached enough maturity to really benefit from the technique instead of being shocked by, premature intervention. When you spot that magical 50% mark, that's your cue to spring into action. Just gently grasp each remaining upright stem about 2 inches above the bulb and bend it over at a 90-degree angle. So, you're not trying to break or damage the stem, rather, you're creating a controlled kink that interrupts nutrient flow while keeping the stem intact. The bend should feel firm but not forced, and you should still see the stem remaining connected to the bulb. This timing also, coincides with the onion's natural preparation for dormancy. In nature, onions are biennial plants that would normally overwinter and produce seed in their second year. By bending the tops at this crucial moment, you're actually mimicking the natural process while ensuring maximum energy storage in the bulb for your harvest. Once you've bent your onion tops, your care routine needs to shift dramatically. This is where, honestly, many gardeners make their second critical mistake. They continue watering as usual, not realizing that the bulbs now need to begin their curing process right in the ground. Reducing water at this stage is essential for developing those firm, long-lasting bulbs that will store well through winter. After bending, you should cut your watering frequency in half, or even eliminate it entirely if you're getting enough rainfall. The soil needs to dry out quite a bit, which, really helps concentrate the flavors in the bulb, and actually kicks off the natural curing process that extends storage life. This kind of controlled drought stress also encourages the bulb to develop those papery outer layers that end up protecting it during storage. During this drying phase, which usually lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll notice the bent tops keep yellowing and drying out completely. And honestly, that's exactly what you want to see. The plant is using up the last of its stored energy to finalize bulb development, and those dying tops are actually contributing their remaining nutrients to the bulb underground. While the bend-over technique is the star of the show, there are several complementary strategies that will help you achieve even better results. First, consider your onion variety selection. Long-day onions are ideal for northern gardeners and tend to produce larger bulbs, while short-day varieties work better in southern climates. Choosing the right variety for your location really sets the foundation for success. Soil preparation also plays a crucial role in bulb development. Onions prefer loose, well-draining soil that allows their bulbs to expand freely. Heavy clay soils can restrict bulb growth, while sandy soils that drain too quickly may not retain enough moisture during the critical early growing period. Adding compost or aged manure, improves soil structure and provides slow-release nutrients that support steady growth throughout the season. Fertilization timing matters as much as the bend-over technique itself. Early in the season, onions benefit from nitrogen-rich fertilizers that support leaf development. However, as bulbing begins, you'll want to switch to a fertilizer higher in phosphorus and potassium, which support root development and bulb formation. The bend-over technique not only increases bulb size, but it also improves storage quality dramatically. Properly bent and dried onions develop better protective outer skins and have lower moisture content, both of which really contribute to a longer storage life. When harvest time arrives, you'll notice that onions treated with this technique lift more easily from the soil and have noticeably firmer, more substantial bulbs. After harvesting, continue the curing process in a warm, dry, well-ventilated area for several weeks before storing. The investment you made in proper timing and technique will pay dividends in the form of onions that store well into winter and beyond, providing you with homegrown flavor long after the growing season ends. The bend-over technique represents the difference between gardening passively and gardening strategically. By understanding your plant's needs and intervening at precisely the right moment, you transform from someone who simply grows onions to someone who produces exceptional onions worthy of any kitchen or root cellar. This simple technique costs nothing, requires no special tools, and takes just minutes to execute, yet it can double or even triple your final bulb size. More importantly, it connects you more deeply with your plant's natural rhythms and helps you become the kind of gardener who consistently produces outstanding results year after year. Ready to revolutionize your onion harvest? Try the bend-over technique this season and prepare to be amazed by the results. Don't forget to subscribe to Smart Garden for more game-changing techniques that will transform your gardening success. And share this guide with fellow gardeners who deserve to know this incredible secret too.